Welcome to Metaphysical Meanderings with Master Psychic Lana Duncan Hartgraves. Lana has been a practicing psychic for over 25 years and has the gifts of clairaudience, clairvoyance, and clairsentience. She is an empath, a medium, as well as a pet communicator and health advisor. If you want to know more about what she does, check her out at www.enchantedSky.com. Wow, look, everybody's jumping in. They're hungry for a little metaphysical meanderings.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've seen the numbers. We don't brag, but it's now around 1 million people are watching the podcast, so no joke. And if you want to see it, by the way, I'm on different platforms to let you guys know. And so that you know that you can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Clapper too. Clapper's growing very quickly. You guys do know that. The thing I like about Clapper is I can get verified and get blocked, my account locked, so people can't poses me after 3,000 followers. So if you haven't looked at that one yet, you need to look at that. I like the app. I like the app. So anyway, so anybody wants to see Kent or see what's actually going on, 216thenet.com. TikTok is not part of StreamYard, so and neither is Clapper. So I'm on other screens. But if you wanted to go on there, you can find me on YouTube, Instagram.
We're on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, your YouTube, my Twitter, my Twitch. Yeah, you name it. Uncle Pete in the morning.
There you
Follow us. We love you. Of course, shout out to our good friend over at diamondsnaturalstore.com for all your fur babies' healthy diet needs. Why give them crap when you could treat them well? Just visit diamondsnaturalstore.com. And you can use that as a commercial. Why give them crap? There you go.
There you go, Sue. Okay. Hey, whatever, right? Okay, So what I've been doing is, before I start this, I got a couple things to tell you, because I share stuff. When I learn things, I share it with you. So, and one, I'm going to tell you that I'm offering just this week, because I said it last night. So if you guys want to if you want a reading, a quickie for 15-minute, I'm on sale for 30% off. So go and book. You can book. You just pick a date. It's already on there. I did pick a couple people that, in my live last night, and I already made their appointments. So every once in a while I'll offer them, that. So anyway, also I wanted to share this with you because it was so interesting. And I asked Kent what he thought, because it's political. So I'm sorry it's political. But you have to remember, I try hard not to be political. Okay. Yeah. But I'm going to be political on this one a little bit. So I got a call from a good follower, and I share stories with you guys all the time. You guys know that. And I did a reading for her, and I've been pretty busy. I'm already almost booked this week. So if you guys want to squeeze in, try to squeeze in, because it's already almost booked. Anyway. And, she calls me up, and she's like, "Oh my God, he's dead." And I go, "What?" Now, I just had this happen. Another follower lost her husband. So now she's like, "I found him. He had a heart attack, and he was done. It was done. And he had a lot of heart problems." And I said to her, because I can see him on the other side, and I said, "Well, he's got a big smile on his face, and he says to me, 'Make sure you help the poor.'" And I'm on Zoom with the woman, and her mouth is hung open, and I'm like, "Why? What?" And she says, "I can't believe he'd say that." And I said, "Well, why?" And then and then he says to me on the other side, he goes, "Well, I met Jesus." Now, I'm not being religious because I believe that there's many ways to God, but
Hmm?
this is his experience because I've met Buddhists who swear they've met Buddha. So and also Muslims who've met Allah. So or Muhammad. So I'm not passing judgment on this,
Sure.
okay? But he said that's what, and he was reminded of who he was. And her mouth is still hung open. I can't figure it out. And she goes, he follows Cheeto Man. And
Not Chester Cheetah, but the orange fellow. Yes.
and she goes, that's who he truly is. I say to her, he was reminded of who he truly is. That's all I have to say. I thought it was a very interesting conversation. And it kind of got me like, because you have to remember, even though I lean one way, I'm very pretty moderate. I try to go, because there's a long, Susie, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I try to stay down the middle. At one point, I have voted Republican. I do not anymore, but and they all suck. So it's okay. Anyway, they all are crooked.
That's right.
Let's be realistic here. Let's be
That's
real.
right.
Yeah. And so anyway, I want you, Susie, I want you to call me. Give me a call. Give me a call. All right. Now, what we left off last week talking about North nodes and how important they are. Hi, Anna. Okay. Not a problem, Susie. I would like to talk to you. You guys do know that the thing that I do about all this is I try to stay accessible. If I usually, like, if I'm doing something and I'm gone for the weekend, or if I'm like out riding horses or I'm doing something, I'll turn the phone off, but then I will check it. I do keep accessible for you. Okay. Anyway, we've been talking about North Node and what it is, and it's what you're supposed to do, why you're here, what you're learning, what you're releasing is your South Node. Okay, hold on. It keeps telling me that something's not loud enough. So hold on here. I got a minute for you guys. Okay. There we go. Thank you. You couldn't hear me. All right. I'm sorry. Got a lot of screens. What we're talking about is that North Node and why you're here. Okay. And we had talked about the South Node releasing it. And you hit a certain point in your life, and usually you're a little older. So you're getting rid of the South Node and you're obtaining it. Now, for some people, and this is what I've been told by astrologers, because remember, I'm a budding astrologer, but I get the astrology signs real well. And I actually can talk to you for 10 minutes and guess what you are. I can guess. I'm like, I bet you're, and how'd you do that? I'm like, because you sound like it, Hi, Alex. I'm going to get to him. I'm going to get to Sag next week, though. I'm doing 4 at a time. So, okay. Taurus is a good North Node because that's mine. But I'm biased, Anyway, so I'm going to go through 4 more. And you usually you have like a spot where between 37 and 40. If you don't hit it then, you hit it like 50. You hit it at around 50. And so for me, I was more like 55. I have a late start. I'm a Taurus. Taurus is always slow and methodical, and they take their time about everything they do. So anyway, that's my North Node though. So, when you call for a reading, I will always ask you for what is your sun, moon, rising, and North Node. And they're so true and accurate. And there's such a reflection of you. And it's like, and people are like, wow. And I'm like, yeah. So Eric.
Eric's wearing his bedazzled pants today.
Wearing bedazzled pants. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to continue with okay, we talked about Cancer last week. This week it's Leo, Libra, Virgo, Scorpio. Well, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, if you're in order. But anyway, all right. So I want you to think about what we had talked about, because I had talked about Aries, I talked about Taurus, Gemini, and I had covered part of Cancer. So I'm just going to review that for Cancer, what we're doing with North Nodes and why. Okay. Now, can you look all this up? You can Google this, but I am discussing it a little bit so that you guys, I'm a verbal learner, did not know that left-handed people, if any of my lefties are out there, are extremely verbal people. Like they, in a verbal score, they will look like they have extremely high IQ because they are so verbal. which makes sense because I'm a visual arts teacher, but I'm a verbal learner. It's weird. Anyway, because if you tell me something, I usually remember it. I have a very good memory auditorily, so it's weird. Anyway, all right. So Cancer was all about caring for yourself and others and learning how to do that, developing your empath skills, your kindness, your I want to help people. You're developing that. So if you're a North Node of Cancer, you're caring for for somebody or yourself. You're trying to find that balance too, but you're probably a caregiver of some sort. And let's face it, most women are. So it's probably common to see a woman Cancer North Node. If I think about it, now that I think about it, I see a lot more Cancer women North Nodes than I do the men, but I do see some. So Tracy, you're a lefty too. Okay. Oh, I didn't know, Sue, you were a lefty too. Yeah. You guys do know that left-handed people they're using a lot of their intuitive ability naturally. That's why it's more than a coincidence that very high percentage of psychics are left-handed. So isn't that interesting? So Cancer review, caring for yourself and others, and you're probably a caregiver. You probably are. Okay. All right. So now Leo's our next one. Leo is dramatic. Leo is probably out in the public somehow. So you're learning to have more courage, kind of like I always compare Leo, the sign of Leo, to the Lion and the Wizard of Oz. It's all about that. So I see Sue asked me, does that count for animals? You better believe it. You better believe it, especially animals, because they need more care and concern and love than a lot of people do sometimes, because they need understanding, right? And we are trusted to take care of them. So you are correct. All right. So Leo, you're learning how to be in the limelight in some way. And you're supposed to learn courage through it. So you may be put as a CEO and you're in the limelight. It could be something you could be in the entertainment industry as an actor, an actress. Leo is a big dramatic sign. And I'm a Leo Jupiter, which makes me like doing this. This is what I do. This is part of it just goes together. And so Leo, that's what Leo does. They're just learning how to be in the limelight, how to handle it with grace and finesse, and to have courage. And they might be releasing some of the fear of public speaking, or do you see what I'm saying? They could be releasing all that. Okay. So to let you guys know. All right. Okay. So the next one, are you this one? It's Virgo. Hey, Kent, what's yours? I forget.
My North Node is Pisces.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's about emotions. Okay, we talked about that a little bit.
Yep.
All right. It's all about emotions, empathy, and you're probably in a spiritual type of career, which, remember I told you the first time I met you, I couldn't. Now, I don't know. Have you ever told people what you do else for a job, or do you not want to tell people what you do? Because it doesn't fit you. I'm sorry. It just doesn't.
No, a lot of it doesn't.
It doesn't. What you're doing with this podcast fits you.
Yeah. Well, and but that's my South Node, right? It was Virgo, so that's that perfectionist.
You're releasing that, and now look at you're hitting the 50s, and you're getting more involved with podcasts.
Yeah.
You see, so you're starting to live your North Node. Yeah. So he has to do with the financial industry. That's what I'm going to say. And I always said it was an odd thing that you know what I mean? I was like, did you remember I met you and I went, that seems not quite right, or for some reason. And then when you told me Pisces North Node, and now you're hitting your North Node, that makes sense. Total sense, you guys. Okay. So a Virgo is a perfectionist.
Great day, Anna.
Oh, thanks. Bye, Anna. Virgo's fulfillment of, they strive. It's God helps those who help themselves. So they're learning to feel useful. They're learning to depend on themselves. And they're learning, it's almost, okay, so that you understand, the South Node has Okay, every sign has a negative connotation to it. It has a negative side to it. So if you're releasing, you're a Virgo, you're a Virgo North Node, you're releasing Pisces. Pisces negativity is that they're overly emotional. And you see what I'm saying? Where Virgo's learning to stand on their own selves, take care of themselves, quit being so emotional, and let's get this done. That's a Virgo North Node. Where do you see how that? Because every sign has a negative aspect to it. You're releasing that part of the negative aspect, going to the new North Node. Okay. So now, what else we've got? We've got Libra. So Libra, I just love Libras because you know why? This is their mantra. Can't we all just get along? That is a Libra North Node, and it's learning how harmony, learning how to collaborate, learning how to get along with others. It's all about that, and you know you're leaving behind strife. You're leaving behind all about me, and you're going to how can we work together? It's that simple. Okay. I'm everybody's got a little Libra in their chart. I'm a Libra midheaven. I've always, even when I work, I collaborate extremely well. Like I feed off people really well. Give me an idea and we'll work together. And it's just, you look for it, the aspect of Libra in your chart somewhere, because that's where you're working together with somebody. Okay. So just to let you know. All right. It's also about social justice and every fairness for all. See, can't we all get along? That's their mantra. So, okay. Now, the last one is Scorpio. And Scorpio is difficult. There's a lot of negativity to Scorpio, but at the same point, it's one of the harder North nodes to have, you guys. Okay. So I will just want to let you guys know it's one of the hardest ones to have because you have a desire to live, love, and lose. You're learning to work to live rather than live to work. And so you struggle with drama, you struggle with unpredictability, you struggle with negativity in general, fear. Remember, Scorpio, every time I meet a Scorpio, I always say, what you afraid of? People are like, what? And I'm like, what are you afraid of? Scorpio is always afraid of something. It's something you're coming face to face with your fears. And you're pulling yourself out of it is what the attempt is to do. Okay. So that is what you're trying to learn with Scorpio. All right. I consider it one of the harder ones, I would say. They all have positive and negative to all of them. You're releasing Taurus. So Taurus is methodical. They take their time. They don't like drama. Do you know what I'm saying? And so you're going to the Scorpio, which is all about you're dealing with the unpredictability of life. You're learning to try to go with it. And so, and when you're releasing Taurus, it's like it's very structured, it's very methodical. And so now you're learning how to deal with that. Okay. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, everybody? Yes. Okay. So we've covered Aries, we've covered Taurus, we've covered Gemini, we've covered Cancer. So a really quick recap of all of it is Aries is all about me, and it's finally about me. And it's your positive energy about yourself and others, trying to create that balance. All right. And then Taurus, because I'm a Taurus, is how to make money spiritually, how to methodically and just enjoy your life, enjoy what you've been given to, and they always get a slow start. I'm telling you, some of these signs always get a slow start in their life. They're like, yeah, that's Taurus for you. Gemini, you better be in public. You better be in the public eye if you're a Gemini, because you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be somehow, some way. And people, I talked to a Gemini earlier this week because during one of my calls, and they said, well, I'm a Gemini North Node and I'm afraid of public speaking. Well, that's exactly why you're a Gemini North Node. You have to learn to get over that.
Hmm.
And she's like, really? And I said, that's something you got to work on because you probably are much better than you think you are in public speaking. And you know what? My suggestion to her was, because remember, I sometimes like, I get things, I mentor people, you know what I'm saying? And I said to her, I said, why don't you start on social media? Okay. Because if you start on social media, you don't have anybody to talk to. You don't have a crowd in front of you. You are just having, hi, Nisi. You're just posting.
Yeah.
Okay. So to let you guys know. Okay. All right. So, did I do, oh, okay. I got one. Okay. All right. Somebody just called me out. So I do daily tarot and I have not posted it yet. So she's like, I'm struggling today. I need that daily tarot. I will be posting it right after the show. So I'm sorry. Sometimes I get up and I don't post right away and been taking
Hey,
care.
that's like everybody's daily vitamin. They need a little dose.
I know.
Yeah.
I've been taking care. If you guys don't know, I have chickens and I have a couple of sick chickens. It's like a bacterial infection that's very treatable, but it's called coccidiosis. And I've got two sick chickens that they pick it up from the grain sometimes. And so I'm at a point where I have to go out there. I've been taking care of them, hoping that they make it because I hate when they die. So hi, Shauna. So I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
So I'm out there this morning trying to take care of my flock. So, and I'm very conscientious of all that. I try really hard to take care of everything I have. So
Yeah.
I always feel like that it's our responsibility to take care of animals that God has entrusted us. So I try really hard in everything I do. And I don't like to lose them when they're sick. So I was where I'm at. So I will post it though for you. Okay. All right. So just to make sure that you guys understand that your North Node is what you're working on. You may not be in it yet. You might be 30 years old going, God, what the struggle is terrible. Because because why? You're probably you might be a Taurus North Node releasing that Scorpio with drama and criticism. And you won't come into it. Because I did have somebody this week that I talked to, and she was 37 or 38. And she says, man, is this rough? She goes, but I do feel that there is a change coming. And I'm like, you think? I just didn't say anything because I know from around that age, I can't predict it exactly when because you have to look at your chart. And I'm learning transits. I don't know them yet.
Yeah.
And I will admit I don't, but I know signs. And I just know that that's about the age that you go through. A lot of times people will go through their North Node and they'll be living their true North Node. So just to remember that. Okay. But I do want to tell you, when you're living that North Node, you will literally, everything's effortless. It just is. I can't, hi, Michael. I can't describe it until you've been there, until you've gone through it. You don't realize that's what this is. You don't realize that's what it's all about. That's what you're doing. Okay.
So, as I was reading up on my North Node this past week,
Okay.
it says that your North Node comes around to the spot you were born every 18 years.
Yes.
So at 54, this would be because I'm 54.
Mhm.
This would be why there's starting to be so many aha moments, I would guess.
Yes. And you're right. It does. It comes around and sometimes they change a little. They can change and it's just interesting stuff. But at 18, think about it. When you're 18, you change.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
When you're 36, you change. Do you see my point?
Yep.
So you guys go think about it. It really is true. It's more than a coincidence. Trust me. All right. So just pay attention because if you know your North Node, it's your soul knows all this. You planned it all.
Yeah.
So anyway, but if you're really thinking about it and consciously going, okay, I'm working on this, I'm working on this, and you kind of gear some of your mindset to it, it becomes easier too. So you're living what you came to complete. Okay. Okay, so I've got somebody on. I've got Angela says I was about 35, 36 when I had an awakening, and it's so interesting. See, and I do want to tell you guys, I'm going to say this like a million times I've said, 2020 was the start of the age of Aquarius. Yeah, think about all the dramatic changes that have happened since 2020. And I say it one more time, it's very progressive, it's very creative, it's very loving. All of that stuff that has nothing to do with that is going to pass away. Greed, corruption, it can't stand in the age of Aquarius. Okay. So Shauna says that her south node conjuncts with your midheaven. Oh, that's interesting. That's a tricky one. You had to learn balance. Good job, Shauna. Now the conjunctions, I understand what you're talking about exactly, but I have yet to learn how to predict them. Like I will be having my friend who is the expert astrologer on here. Susie, she'll be back on here next week or the week after to do some more astrology with us.
Awesome.
So she understands. She actually helped me pick my date for my surgery. So she doesn't like the date I picked, but the hospital picked it for me. And so she's like, can't you move it? So I'm kind of thinking, well, we'll see what we can do. I don't know. But yeah, so she's been helping. And if you guys don't have an astrologer, I'm serious. You need to find one because I was the hugest skeptic, you guys. I was the hugest skeptic in the world. I really, truly was. Because I had no idea. And I've told this story to you many times. It came around November of 50. I was 54. See, there you go. And that's when this all the North Node started. So you're right. 54 is a key for a lot of people. And I came into, okay. Okay. Yes, that makes sense, Shauna.
Yeah.
And so I did not know it hit. And I kept saying to everybody, I don't know why this is my last year. I'm done. Didn't know why. I kept saying, I don't have to do this forever. It's what I kept thinking, but I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done. I'm going to do something. I'm done. Now you have to remember the fear. See, here we go. Fear, Scorpio, North, South node, fear, the absolute terror of not having a job was too much. I mean, it was really because I have to work. I have to work. See, live to work, not work to live. So see what I'm saying? And so that's my south node. Well, here it comes October, November. And one of my friends who's got a birthday he's 1 year younger and like 2 days. And so he says to me, your birthday's near mine. I said, yeah. He goes, aren't you turning 55? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, why aren't you retiring? You can. And I'm like, no, I can't. And he goes, you're tier 1. And you guys don't know what that means. There's different tiers and they retire at different times, because they've upped our retirement ages because they suck. Anyway, and I go, well, I can't retire. And he goes, you want to bet me? And I'm like, no, I can't. He goes, no, call them. So I make my phone call that day after school. And she says to me, and I'll never forget it. She goes, oh God, yeah, you can retire on your birthday. I cried for about 3 hours. I did because I had planned on leaving, and here my soul knew that I was leaving. My conscience said, no, because that's my Scorpio South node talking. And that's what I did. I left on my birthday, which was predicted in my astrology, which one of my astrology friends said, she goes, you're coming into like you're walking away and you're coming sort of into like a windfall or something. And I'm like, I thought she was nuts. I really did. And here it was in the astrology. So I want you guys to really, really think about, if you don't know somebody who knows some astrology, I got a couple of great people that I know. I am developing an astrology website. I used to have Astrology Gumbo, and that is no longer mine. Long story on that. I'm not going to go there, but I do have a new one I'm developing. So you're going to be able to see it. It'll be connected, and it's going to be Enchanted Sky Astrology or EnchantedAstrology.com. It's one of those. It's not developed yet, but I will let you guys know as soon as I get it. Okay. All right. So with that said, it looks to me like it's about time for some free questions. So go for it, Kent.
All right. Let's just catch up on a couple of things. Just realized Diamond died 4 years ago when I was 54. Damn. It was time. I was thinking about how I was going to honor Diamond, hence name of business, Just had a aha moment. Absolutely. And here we go. So let's go with Sarabi. Sarabi, good morning. Says, when will I be in a relationship?
Um, I want to say maybe around February next year. It's got about 6 months, but I did see or hear something about November. So I wasn't sure what that is pertaining to, but um something about November and then something about February. So I don't know if you're gonna be like meeting somebody and then do you see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Terry T says, will I get through September and October in one piece, especially committee work wise?
Um, yeah. They're saying you need to do a lot of meditation or a lot of walking away right now. Like
Mm,
go do some downtime, go outside or something, sit on the ground, let the negative energy get absorbed through the ground. You guys do know that that's a good way to get all the energy in your body out, right?
Yep.
You don't exercise. I exercise. I'm an exerciser because I'm a Sag. Sages do that. Did you guys know Sages need like a huge amount of exercise? I bet you guys didn't know that. Anyway, so anyway, something's big in like no, I'm not sure. I think you'll be okay. Just make sure that you're doing that. Okay. Like I tell people to go dig in the dirt. Studies have shown that works. That's why people garden because
mm,
it's releasing
mhm.
negative energy. Yep. So
Yep. And people in Okinawa, Japan garden on a daily basis, and they have some of the longest lifespans on
yes.
Earth. Yeah.
It's so funny. Here's a side note because guys know that I'm on different herbs. I'm taking dandelion root. I was having a conversation with my financier, and I told him, mentioned this mung beans. I've talked about it before on my podcast, mung bean sprouts. You can find them anywhere. They're also called Chickasaw peas. They're called two different things. Anyway, and he goes, wow. Because I told him, I said, you can prevent cancer or reduce
Mhm.
tumors with mung beans. And he laughs and he goes, well, my wife's Korean and we eat mung beans constantly. And he goes, all of her family's like 100. And I just kind of chuckled because he's like, so I believe what you say. And
Yep.
I go, well, no, the studies are out. There are studies on this that bean sprouts will help prevent and reduce tumors. It's
Mhm.
true. Look it up, Google it if you want, if you don't believe me.
That's
Because
right.
I thought it was kind of weird. I looked it up. I always research this stuff before I put this on the podcast. I would never just, oh,
Yep.
I think this is right. No, I research it. But I don't know. All I know is I haven't felt this good in a long time. And I'm on like 4 different, like I'm on beets. It's all vegetables. I'm on vegetables. Come on, the good vegetables,
There you go.
the dandelion root and artichoke. Resveratrol is grape seed,
There you go.
grape skin. I'm on all this stuff and I haven't ever felt better. My hair is growing, like it's growing like it's
Yep.
growing in
Go
these
out go
little.
out to go out to Spotify. About 3 weeks ago we did the herbal
Yeah,
supplement. So
yes,
it's out there on Spotify at
it is.
Metaphysical Meanderings. Yep.
Yes. So, and and if you guys want to know what I'm buying, you don't have to buy it from me, but I have it on a list on Amazon. I have it on a list on TikTok. Because if you can find your own brand, you're fine. But that
Yep.
was one I find that I like because they're usually the least expensive. I'll be a
Yeah.
cheapskate just like everybody else. Come on.
Hey, come on, that's the way of the world. All right. Ashika says, I'm thinking of trying out a little bit of modeling. How do you see it panning out for me?
I think you might get some commercials, Ishika. I think so.
Mm,
I think I'm right. I feel like they're commercials because they feel like they're short snippets. So see if you can get that. Okay. Let
nice.
me take some people off of
Yeah.
TikTok. Okay? I got T Dave Debar. I think that's what it is. Wants to know if they're going to get promoted at work. Yes, but it's not going to be for a while. Something's in October, so I don't know if you're going to hear about it or what's going on. But it's something's in October, but you're not going to get. It's going to be towards the beginning of the year. So maybe they're gonna tell you in October and then it goes into effect in January. It's something like that. Okay. All right. So go ahead. What else we got?
Awesome. Alex B and Alex, I hope you're feeling better. Rest up, my friend. Says, if I make my Instagram profile private, will that speed things along with speed?
I just talked to Alex yesterday. Hi, Alex. No, won't matter. She's trying, we understand now. If you guys have been watching my lives, Alex has a crush, and she's trying not to come on too strong. And we're all supporting you on this, Alex. We want this to work out for you. So I'm telling her, don't just be careful and just let him know you're interested, and don't, you see what I'm saying? Don't come on strong.
And remember, all guys are idiots.
And
There you
yes,
go. All right.
yes,
Brenda Wilson says, when will I find my forever person?
Brenda, it's going to be down the road. I know that sounds like you might be like, oh man, really? But like, it is the person. And I want to say it's within 2 years, maybe a year and a half to 2 years. It could even be, it could be even as soon as 24 in the later part of the year, but it's going to be a little while. Okay. So this is what they're telling me to tell you. You need to work on yourself right now a little more. Letting go of, I don't know if there's just trauma or what that is, Brenda, but they're telling me you have to let go of some stuff so this person can come. Because I want to say it is part of your destiny. It is part of your chart. So this person is coming. Because sometimes in your charts, you guys get more, you get to make your own choices where a lot of times. And so I always tell people with relationships, it's funny because they'll come into your life and you'll be like, oh, I'm destined to be with him. And then you're like, it doesn't work out because you have chosen to go to maybe deal with the karma of this person in another lifetime. So I always say you can bite the apple or you cannot bite the apple. It's the choice is yours sometimes because you will eventually have to deal with them in another lifetime also. So just letting you know. Okay.
There we go. Tracy, 7 Trace, good morning, says, are my brothers okay with me meeting my half brother?
They are. One is okay and one is not. They're more concerned about you and worried about you than anything. Does that make sense, Tracy? They're concerned about your welfare. Okay. And that's what they're mostly concerned about. Okay. I don't know why, but you should know what I'm talking about, I guess. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Kristen. Kristen on TikTok. What will be ending for me soon? Kristen, that's too general. Like I can tell you
the show.
If I've got just you here, because I've got a lot of energy. Yeah. There's a lot of people here. So
this podcast ends in a few minutes, but
yes, that's true.
That might be the earliest thing. All right. Sarah Fallon says, will I find a buyer for my house?
Yes. I want to say something. You're going to either that or get a lead before October.
Nice.
Luna Moon. I saw something for Luna Moon and she was wondering if she's going to get a remodel. Not this year. I think it's next, but it's not too far into it. I want to say maybe April or so. Now, remember, I am not perfect with my times all the time because time is fluid and it can be difficult. Yep. I had somebody that got on my live the other day and goes, I had my baby when I wasn't, because I said she might go a few days early. And she's like, no, I had my baby on time. And I'm like, okay. Like I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I thought you would have it a little bit early, but you're healthy. So what's the issue? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah. So it's not that big of a deal, is it? I don't know. Anyway. No.
Linda Turwey, good morning, says, will we move back to Kansas City this spring?
I don't know why, Linda, but I'm not getting any answer. And when I don't get an answer, it's because I don't know if it's not been set yet in stone or what's going on. But for some reason, I'm not getting anything. I want to kind of lean towards no, but they're not telling me. And sometimes, and you guys know, if you're watching me, there's certain cards even on a tarot deck, because, I don't need cards, but I can pull them. And I will get a card. It's the High Priestess. And it means you're not supposed to know. It's a secret. It's hidden. It'll get revealed to you in due time. And so they don't tell me things. So yeah, so that you understand. Okay. All right.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Shauna says, Lana, do you see me growing into this path of my own abilities and
Oh yeah.
astrology?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Shauna. Yep.
Nice.
Yes.
Our good friend Ann Ivan, how are you, Lana? Things with John are not going anywhere. I will see him in 2 months. Do you see any romantic development in December?
No. Sorry, Ann.
Mm,
That's I really, if I see it, I see it. And if I don't, I don't. And that's why if you ever watch me go, I'm not seeing that clearly, or I am seeing that clearly. That's why I do that. Because like I said, biting the apple. Here we go again. Right? Okay. All right.
There you go. Cindy, and I don't know if this is a good one, if you want to answer this one here on the show or not, but Cindy says, why is it so hard for me to leave my marriage?
Well, because most likely, Cindy, I can answer it for you. And I know this to be true, is that it's probably your belief system. You were taught that it's a failure, or you're taught that you're supposed to stay married, or it's a belief system that's keeping you. I know that, and that's something you have to decide that you need to release. Okay.
Yep.
But that's a lot of times people are in marriages because they're told to be, and they're taught that. So, okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. And Susie says, Lana, I'm headed out to pick up his ashes. I'll definitely call you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Susie. Thank you. I would like to talk to you. You guys know that. Because if I can communicate, I will. And I think I can. I think I'm picking him up. So if you guys don't know, I'm a medium. So, and that's what I do. That is my, I hear everybody like, I want to do this and I want to be a this, or I want to, and not everybody's a medium. I don't agree. I'm going to teach you how to be a medium. You can, to a certain point, learn some of it, but some people don't have that talent. They have another one. Maybe they're calming. Maybe they're a healer. They're an emotional healer, and they just make people feel better. Some people have more than one. Some people have 5, 6, 8. A lot of times you have more than one, but not everybody's a medium. So, and people don't realize this is a great responsibility. These are not fun and games. This has been hard. And if you're watching me on my lives, I get exhausted. If I've been on there for 2 hours doing mediumship, I am exhausted. People don't understand that I'm literally jumping into another dimension. And I'm going back and forth, and it's tough. And people don't know that I take this extremely seriously. I see so many people. I'm not judging you. I'm not judging anybody, but they don't take this seriously. They think it's a big game. They've got I see this all the time. We go ghost hunting or something, and we'll go to like a ghost tour, and people have got out their dowsing rods and they got their tarot. They don't understand what they're playing with. I have been in a house that had devil worshipers. I know what I'm dealing with. I've been doing this a long time. And I'm telling you, you have to be careful. Please, please be careful. And if you think that this isn't real, well, then that's what you believe. Because, if you think it's not real, it isn't. And if you think it's real, it is. It's that simple. It's because the human mind's so strong. So, okay.
All right. Brooke Payne says, economic status for us all. Will this ever change soon? Finding it hard to live with current pay and working to take on more work elsewhere for extra income feels like a never-ending struggle.
Brooke, there's some good stuff coming. 24, I'm going to say, I said it before I got on here. I said it to Kent, 24 to 26 is going to blow our minds in a positive way. There's going to be there's going to be healthcare coming. There's going to be, now remember that was one thing I wanted to remind you. Remember I predicted that there would be some type of program to help first-time home buyers, Kent? I predicted that it's true. It started September 1st. I've talked to 2 people now who have gotten loans to buy their first house. One of my friends just got $35,000 granted to her. So this is real. I'm not making this up. It's the U.S. government. If you are a first-time home buyer, I want you looking at it. I predicted it. Okay. So look at it. And I believe, God, what was it? Federalaid.gov. I'm very close. I'm very close. I can't remember the website completely, but I'm very close. And I've been predicting it. There's more and more things coming because you have to remember love wins all. It's the age of Aquarius.
There we go.
Okay.
Michael Farr, good morning, says, hi, Lana. I'm in a holding pattern for the job interview. Made it to round 3. Sent a follow-up email, and they responded with the thanks. We're still in a recruit process. Any thoughts on that?
They can't decide if they should hire you. You're you and somebody else. They're doing all of their logistics. So hold on. I will say a prayer for you, Michael. I know you want this job. You've been talking to me about it. Okay. All right.
There you go. MD says, hi, Lana. I really want to keep my job. Will I?
I don't see you losing it. At least not for another 6 months or so. I don't see anything out farther than that. I didn't look, but I don't see you're going to lose your job. No.
Yep.
Okay.
And Ann Iva, we took your question a little bit ago, but let's wrap up. With one.
Okay.
And we'll wrap up with this from Laura Sim. Just wanted to let you know you were right on my disability check being here in about 4 weeks. I have a check coming next week.
Good.
So, hallelujah.
For you. I'm glad for you. I want everybody to know that I want everybody to I want them to do great things, and I wish you abundance. I'm rooting for you. I truly am. And that's the way we all need to be for each other. So blessings to you. Make it a great day. And how can you make the planet a better place, right, Kent?
That's it. For all of us here at 21.6 Net, thanks for getting caught in the net with us. And remember, until we meet again, be good. But more importantly, be good to one another.